Hey everybody, good afternoon, good morning, good day, good evening, wherever you are. This is take 2 of this video. Something just happened to my phone and the video went out. So this is Chintua, your happiness specialist, coming to you live from New York, helping military veterans, police officers, retired police officers, law enforcement, firefighters redesign their life to fulfill its divine purpose. So welcome to another episode of our coffee shop chat. Today's topic is, what do you have that's special? What do you have that's special? All right, you probably have a lot of things going through your mind right now, wondering what kind of question is that? What do you have that's special? Everyone has something that's special about them. Everyone has something special, something in them that's special. You know, but looking at yourself, just maybe looking at your circumstances or your struggles or wherever you happen to be at the moment, you may not think that you have something special. You may not think that you have something that would help other people. You may not think that, that you're enough. You may not think that that you have what it takes, to be special, to do something special, to do something extraordinary, to do something amazing, to be an example for other people. I'm going to, draw from a couple of examples from, things I saw today, I watched today, and lessons that I got from, some of my friends and from some things that I've seen, today. The first one is going to be from, I was watching this video by a gentleman. He's actually a veteran, a Vietnam War veteran, and this man was talking about how when he was a kid, how his his mom was on special on I guess public assistance, they call it, welfare, right? So in order to shop to afford food, they used to get food stamps. That's how they survived. And he talked about one incident where hold on one second before I tell that story. I want to see if I can invite some people to come. Oh, nobody, no one to invite. All right, no problem. We won't invite anybody. But be sure to share this video if you get one iota of value when you come on. And when you do come on, let me know where you are living in from. I'll give you a shout out. So back to the story. This veteran was talking about how he, when he was a kid, one particular incident that changed his life. He said they were on the line, and his mom was about to pay for their groceries, and she had food stamps to pay for the groceries. And he said, out of the blue, somebody from somewhere said, just said something that was so outright embarrassing, that was not called for. This person said, look at all those foods that you have. Some of us cannot afford to get all the fancy foods that you just picked out, and how are you ever going to repay me? How are you going to repay society? How are you going to repay people that make it possible for you to buy this food on public assistance? The veteran said his mom pulled him behind her and looked at the woman and said, I can never afford to repay you. I can never afford to repay society. I can never afford to repay any one of you here. But my son, my little son, one day will be able to afford to repay you, to repay society. And that story touched me, and I can imagine, that actually shut that woman up, by this lady, saying that to her. So as he was sharing his story, he said he remembered it, like it was yesterday. And that was one of the things that, inspired him to become the leader he became in his chosen industry. And then going to the Marine Corps, joining the Marine Corps, he recalls when they were under siege at one particular battle, and he said his sergeant called him up and said, hey, by the way, this is what you're going to do. You and a whole bunch of a few other people that he picked, and said, you're going to stay here and distract, the enemy. so some of us can, not retreat, but draw back, pull back to a safer location, so we don't all get wiped out. So he happened to be chosen, as one of those people. And to him, that was a responsibility. And he goes on to talk about the responsibility, what responsibility means. That responsibility actually contains two powerful words. One, response, and the other one, ability. You have the ability at any given moment to respond to any situation. You have the ability any single time to change your life. You have the ability at any time to respond to, what life hands you. You have the ability at any one moment to respond to how you respond to life, or your circumstances, or your challenges, right? So that was, that in itself was powerful. So he talked about, what a leader is, because a lot of times most of us don't think that we have what it takes to be a leader. Most of us don't think that we have the gift of leadership. But leadership is not really about a gift. He said that being a leader is not someone who gets people to believe in them. He said a leader is someone who gets others to believe in themselves. A leader is someone who gets others to believe in themselves. It's not a matter of whether you get people to believe in you. It doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that you get other people to believe in themselves when they don't think that they are leaders, when they don't think they have what it takes, when they don't think they have something special in them. When you inspire them enough to reach to that higher level, that makes you a leader. So I was talking to a lady this morning. I think she might still be on Messenger. I hope she sees this, because she had requested information to the digital franchise that I've been involved in for a while now, and so far she hasn't moved forward. So I asked her, what are your challenges? How come you haven't moved forward, with the information that you asked for? She said, I've been busy. I'm a single mom. And I totally understand where she's coming from. But she believes that because she is so busy, because she's a single mom, that she doesn't have what it takes. She doesn't have the ability. She doesn't have the time. Although she is responsible. She is responsible for not only herself, but other smaller people that can't be responsible for themselves, her kids. But in between there, she doesn't think that she has what it takes right now to move forward. But she is already a leader. She is already responsible for somebody else. She already has the ability to be responsible for other people. But she's just having a challenge, believing that she is ready to take on the next challenge of her life, which is doing something better, aiming for a higher goal in her life. Right? So I wanted to share that bit with you. So if you don't think you have something special, you need to believe that you do, because you do. And the other part that I wanted to share with you, another friend of mine, Renee, headlined our Cry for Freedom call this morning, and she shared something amazing. She said, what labels are you attaching to yourself? Something to that effect. Because every single person, every single one of us at one point has labeled themselves or labeled other people. But the most dangerous labels are the ones that we give ourselves. Something like, oh, I'm just a newbie, or I'm just beginning, or I just finished the boot camp. And she talked about, you didn't just finish. Guess what? You finished the boot camp. You finished it at your own time. But the most important thing is you finished. It's not a matter of how fast or when you finished it. It's the fact that you did finish it. Or, I can't do this. I'm not techie. Or I don't have what it takes. Or I'm brand new. Everyone is brand new at some point. Nobody starts out being the expert at anything. Everything that we become experts at, we learn. So you do have something special. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to reach and dig deep down and find that something special that God instilled in you the day you were born. Because every single one of us came on here, on earth, with something special, with a special gift, with a special talent that no one else has, right? So you are already a leader. You are that person that gets other people to believe in themselves. It's not a matter of whether they believe in you. You don't have to believe in me. But if I can get you to believe in yourself, then it's okay to say, hey, Chin is a leader, right? But it's not a title that you give yourself. It's not a title that, you nominate yourself for. It is something other people point you out and say, hey, that person out there is a leader. Renee is a leader. Amber is a leader. Keisha Bass is a leader. Speaking of Keisha Bass, I know I'm going off on a tangent. But Keisha Bass, what she did with her tribe, with our tribe, is amazing. She has a group of people that started out not knowing a whole lot. Some with, pretty good amount of knowledge. But she got all of them to become leaders in their own rights. People like Sean Johnson, people like Zach Shahid, people like Ryan, people like Krishana, people like Gail. And the list goes on and on. Although she didn't enroll every single one of us in the tribe. But she was responsible. She got other people. She got all those people, all those powerful individuals to get others to believe in themselves. She got them to believe enough in themselves that they started getting other people to believe in themselves. That's the mark of a leader. Right? So you do have something special. You just have to find what that is. What do you have in you that's special? What do you have in you that can inspire other people to start believing in themselves? You know what it is. I don't know what it is. But at some point, you have to discover what that is. All right, so I wanted to come on here and share this with you. And I think I've hit all the points that I really wanted to hit here, right? The number one being a leader, that you don't have to be the one that, does everything. You don't have to be the one that handles everything. But you can be the one, the catalyst, that helps other people see that they can handle whatever it is that life throws their way. Right? You can get them to believe in themselves. Even if they don't believe in you, you can be that one of those leaders that everybody, maybe, for lack of a better word, that everybody's afraid of, that everybody tiptoes around. That's not such a bad thing. But if you can get those people that are tiptoeing around you, that are afraid of you, to believe enough in themselves that they go out and help other people, then you are that leader, right? If you get enough people to believe in themselves, then your job is done. If you get enough people to believe in themselves, then you are a leader. Even if you don't see yourself as a leader. Because, all right, we're back. Welcome back. Yes, I was saying earlier, that you don't have to be the one that does everything, right? But you have the responsibility. You have the responsibility to share what's special about you. You have the responsibility to get out there, in spite of your circumstances, whether you're a single mom, whether you have 2 full-time jobs, whether you have, something, whether you're in a situation that doesn't allow you to do anything else. You just have to find a way to break out. You have to find a way to break out, right? So you have that responsibility. And some of us sometimes don't believe, because we have a full-time job, that we don't have enough time to take on anything else, right? And yours truly recently retired from the police department, and although having that career did help me along my journey of entrepreneurship. It did help me because it helped provide the investments that I put in my business to help me grow. But at the same time, I did realize that it was somewhat handicapping me because I couldn't do all the things that I wanted to do as far as, taking time off, leaving any time that I wanted, or going to, live events that I wanted to go to because the job didn't allow me to do that. And I remember one of my friends, Krishana, talking about why, she, became an entrepreneur. She talked about how her job, wasn't allowing her to take care of her mother that was sick. And when she made the decision to actually walk away, she had all the freedom that she wanted. She didn't have anybody else telling her, hey, you can or you cannot go, or you can or cannot take this time. Now she has the freedom to do whatever she wants anytime that she wants. Right? Yours truly. Now that I'm retired, I no longer have the excuse of, my job didn't let me, or I don't have the time to go, or I can't go because I don't have the day off, or I can't go because they won't give me the time off. Right? Because all those things are excuses. Don't let excuses, don't let your fears, stop that something special that you have. You have something special in you. What is it? You have to find it. Right? Every single one of us has that something special. You just have to discover what that is. And that's what I do here. That's what I help, people by coming out here and hopefully inspiring you to see your own God-given potential. Because at some point, you would have to discover what that is. So what do you have that's something special? What do you have that's special in you? You have to make that discovery. All right, so that's it for me. I'm done. Hopefully this video inspired you. Hopefully you got some iota of value. If you did, I would appreciate if you shared the video. And if you're seeing it as a replay, be sure to drop hashtag replay in the comment stream so I know that you were here after the live. All right, so what I'm going to do, I talked about the blueprint that I joined about 8 months ago, that has changed my story, that has helped me go from frustrated, overwhelmed, not being able to really, I didn't know how to generate leads on demand prior to 8 months ago, right? But because of this blueprint, I've been able to do that anytime I want, as long as I make the decision to make the investment and get the leads on demand. This blueprint showed me how to do that. If you are that person who doesn't believe that that they can make sales, or that they can generate their own leads or build their own list, if you're watching this video and thinking, I can't do that, or I can't do what he's doing, or I don't know how to do that, like Renee Rushton talked about this morning, here's what I want you to start believing. Start believing in the possibilities, and stop believing in your situation right now. Because if you keep believing in where you are right now rather than what's possible for you, you're always going to be stuck there. But start believing in the possibility, because through this blueprint, through this system, it's actually a done for you system. Once you go through the boot camp and leverage everything that's in the system, you can do it done for you, or you can learn how to do it, learn how to do it for yourself. Because that's the ultimate goal, getting you to be independent enough. But in the meantime, you can use the done for you system to start doing those things, achieving those things that you never thought were possible. Right? So if you want to know what that is, what the blueprint and the system is about, let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to share it with you. And I'm also going to, share the link in the comment stream. So you can, two things you can do. You can look at it and say, it's not for me. Or you can look at it and say, oh my God, where have you been all my life? And, you know, yeah, I just remembered what I wanted to share with you before the video ended, before I ended the video. I read a book a while back called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And he talked about, you know, when we're in a situation where sometimes we think it's impossible. You know, like the young lady, I shared her quick story with you where she said she is so busy because she's a single mom, she didn't see herself taking advantage of the, you know, dump for you system right away. Even though you can start it for $1 or $37, you know, depending on the choice that you make, right? Here's what Eckhart Tolle talked about in a, you know, situations. I'm not talking about her situation really, but in the situations general. Maybe circumstances, maybe a relationship that you don't want to be in anymore because it's no longer safe for you, or it's no longer conducive for you, or you don't see it going anywhere in spite of. Here's what he said. He says there are three things you can do about a situation. You can, 1, accept the situation. 2, change the situation. 3, leave the situation. Everything else is madness. End quote. That's what he said. So you can do anything we want about any situation at any given time. You can change from being afraid, not knowing how to generate leads online, not knowing how to make money online, not knowing how to do anything, to having your own multiple $1,000 days. And I just said that because that's what happened to me. Because I could have made the choice of saying, oh, you know what, because I tried everything in the past, I'm not going to take advantage of this. I'm not going to do this because I know because things I did in the past didn't work, that this wouldn't work either. Right? But I believed enough in myself that I didn't quit. I believed enough in myself that I didn't give up. Because you don't fail until you give up. It's when you throw up your hands and say, you know what, that doesn't work, or people like me don't do that, or people that have my circumstances are not supposed to have success. That's when you really fail. But until then, everything else is a learning process. You're learning, you're growing, you're getting better, right? Until you get to the point where that's something that's special about you begins to come out, begins to show, begins to inspire other people, begins to create leaders. Because now because you got out of your situation, right? That difficult situation, that circumstance, you got out of it. Now you're getting other people to believe in themselves, thereby creating other leaders. All right, that's it for me. I'm done. Hopefully this video made sense, you know, hopefully it resonated with you. So ask yourself, go in the mirror and ask yourself, what do I have that's special? What do I have that's special? When you can answer that question, that's the breakthrough that you've been looking for. That's the aha moment that you've been looking for. So I appreciate you guys being here. If you got value, share the video. And also, I'm going to share the link to the blueprint that I talked about, right? You can do something with it, or you can leave it, or you can share it with somebody else, right? But whatever you choose to do, it's entirely up to you. So I appreciate you being here. And remember this, that everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. So be kind always. And as always, always be loving, be loved. God bless you. I appreciate you guys. Somebody's watching. I don't know who it is, but let me know in the comments, you know, in the comments stream who you are. I appreciate you. You may be busy just watching, and I hope you got something from it. If you did, you know, I've said it 3 times already, share the video. You just might be a blessing onto someone today. All right, have an amazing rest of your Tuesday, whatever it is that you decide to do. All right, so I appreciate you guys. I will talk to you soon. This is Chintua, your happiness specialist. Go out there and make it an amazing, amazing, amazing day. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.